the show on a negative note, but as a parent, this is how I feel. So to parents and mothers who lost their loved ones, their words just 2 days ago, Wednesday, December the 18th, at the venue of the family event organized in Basharu, Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. My heart goes out to those parents. I offer my heartfelt condolences and hope that the cherished moments you shared will bring you some comfort. Also to parents whose children are battling one illness or another, parents of a sick child, I hope my words bring you encouragement today. You are warriors. You are superheroes, all right? You wear the mask for bravery, the cape of strength and shield of hope. Please don't stop whispering sweet words into the ears of your child, because these words resonate with them and it just keeps them going. They might not be able to talk, but there is a lot all these words do to them. All right, this is 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are the nation's #1 talk, news and sport radio station. Welcome to Maternity Line Show. I am Zaynab, Yekken, and of course today we are focusing on children. We've spent the last two episodes discussing speaking to and with parents, and today we are shifting that focus, but I'll get into that conversation right after this break. Lagos, I do have a guest. Do take it.
You are listening to your #1 station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
People of Lagos, are you ready? Drinks Fest Lagos 2025 is here. The maiden edition of the Drinks Showcase, Drinks Fest Lagos, is going down on January 3rd and 4th, 2025 at the Landmark Event Center, Victoria Island, Lagos. Get ready for an experience like no other, featuring immersive performances by your faves, DJ Crowd Controller, DJ Consequence, Alternate Sounds, Loud Urban Choir, DJ Beast, DJ Shows, and hosted by the Energy God himself, BO to the TUN, alongside MIA. You don't want to miss it. Get your tickets now at www.tix.africa. Proudly supported by Trace TV, Cool FM, Nigeria Info, Justnet FM, and Bella Nigeria. Drinks Fest Lagos 2025. The Drinks Showcase awaits without a box concept.
This is it. The ultimate stage for young minds to battle it out.
The governors are law. They tend not to lean to public participation. Governors can make any decision without fear of.
What remains of a person's identity is only measured by.
The honesty to say web serving culture site.
Auditions for the I Beg to Differ Second Schools Debate Tournament is on. Do you have the passion, the intellect, the fire that stand above the rest? Then prove it.
The hallmark of the driving society is an excuse.
So the organization should be planned carefully into the data.
And that test is a recipe for anxiety.
Prove you're the next great debater Nigeria has been waiting for. I Beg to Differ. Auditions open December 12, 2024 and close January 12, 2025. The clock is ticking. Visit www.nigeriainfo.fm now to register. I Beg to Differ. The tournament of champions.
Nigeria, brace yourself.
Brace yourself.
Boxing Day will never be the same. Balmoral Group, in collaboration with Game Rush, proudly presents Chaos in the Ring. A night of explosive boxing action featuring multiple thrilling bouts, capped off with the ultimate showdown. Taiwo Eshekbo Agbaje, a boxer forged from the grit of the streets, takes on Rewan, real showboy Lawal, a decorated military officer trained to dominate. For the undisputed IBO All-African Featherweight title. This fight isn't just about title. It's a stand for resilience, a fight for our lives. You can't miss this electrifying night of boxing like you've never seen before. Enjoy pulsating music, mouth-watering food, epic celebrity bouts, and so much more. All goes down on Boxing Day, December 26th, 2024 at the iconic Balmoral Convention Center, Victoria Island, Lagos. Chaos in the ring. Be there to witness history. Get your tickets now.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
Your #1 station for talk. Let's talk. Let's talk.
This is
Maternity Line.
Maternity Line.
Lagos, it's Maternity Line Show. I am Zaynab Yekken, and welcome to Maternity Line Show. If you are just joining us, we are 99.3 Nigeria Info. Log on to our website and follow us all across our social media platforms. Our website is nigeriainfo.fm. On social media, X, formerly Twitter, and of course, Instagram and Threads. We are Nigeria Info FM Lagos. That's on Instagram and on Threads. On Twitter, we are at Nigeria Info FM. Okay. My handle on those platforms is King Zaynab, KENZAYNAB. You could tell I'm a bit I sound encouraged on the show today. Yes, I'm a mother, and I could feel what other parents in other states, Ibadan, are feeling right now. Well, some people may have blamed that on the ignorance of the parents, and of course, it's a festive season period. Children, schools are on holiday. Parents want their children to go have fun, and then this unfortunate happened. No parents ever pray to lose a child, no matter the situation, no matter how ugly the story is. But I mean, those are children we are talking about, over 30, as confirmed by the Oyo State Police Command. It's heartbreaking for me. So there is a way I feel about the whole thing. Please bear with me. It will get better on the show. All right. Yes, welcome to the show. Go on our website if you haven't gone there already. nigeriainfo.fm is our website. So without wasting time, Lagos today, as I already entered before that break, we are focusing on children today, and the topic is food safety practices through mothers to children. All right. Now, here is the thing. When you say food safety is necessary to ensure a good and healthy life for all, especially the children who are the future, right? And this is often considered a mother's responsibility. Also, research does indicate that there is a positive relation between mothers' knowledge and their practice regarding providing safe food for children, especially under 5 years old. I mean, children under 5, but this is not to say the conversation is going to be narrowed down to children under 5. We are talking children and kids generally. Okay, and I do have a guest on the show today. My guest is Comfort Alabedi, certified food safety professional, analyst, and supervisor. She's a seasoned hazard analysis and critical control point expert. That's HACCP. Also a food safety management systems auditor, FSMS. She's also certified in general nutrition and wellness from Nexford University. Comfort Alabedi, welcome to the show, and thanks for giving up your time to be on the show today. Virtually, though. You may need to unmute.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, okay. Fantastic. Lagos, the telephone lines to join the conversation are 0201277093, 0201465790. You can as well drop us your messages on WhatsApp, 0809-5975805. Lagos, bring it on, because my guest is here to give us all that we need to learn as regards food safety today on the show. Are you a mom or parent who how would you rate yourself? I mean, your present knowledge, attitude, also practices regarding food safety. Did you even know that mothers who make meals for their young children at home may put their children at risk for foodborne infection because of improper food handling methods. Our expert is already shaking her head in agreement. Right. Welcome once again, Comfort Alabede. Now, let's get to it. What is safe food, and why should parents, mothers especially, why do they need to have their words practice food safety?
Okay. Thank you once again, Zaynab.
Right.
So, when we say safe food, from the word safe means food that is free from contaminations or hazard.
Right.
That's food that is 100% free from anything that can pose risk of foodborne illness or food poisoning. So that is safe food. So aside from the aesthetic of the food, food
or the
tends to be appealing to the eyes at times.
Mm.
So when we say yes, so when we talk about safe food, we are looking beyond the aesthetics, but we are now looking at the long-term effect of what we're about to eat. Is it safe? Is it free from contaminations? Is it free from anything that can land me in the hospital? Is it free from any physical hazard, chemical hazard, biological hazard, or anything that can affect me if I'm the type that is having allergy to any ingredients from the food? So safe food is all encompassing.
All right, thank you so much. I would love for us to go back to some of the points that you've just made, and I would love for us to start from the physical hazards. I understand that I am someone who encourage parents to do home made food instead of going on the streets and get their words food. So when we say physical hazards, what are these physical hazards that we are talking about?
Okay, so physical hazard from the word are things you could see with your eyes. That's when you have your food, is the food free from contaminations like ants, flies, hair strands? Like we've seen in social media how some people call out food vendors because they saw cockroaches in their meal. So those are physical hazards. So, and then looking at safe food and physical hazard, it can also start from the market, right from where you're shopping your raw ingredients. So you also look out for physical hazards. Is this food having anything that can pose me at risk, like bottles? Those are physical hazards. You see bottle in beans, in raw beans, your gari when you're buying, is it free from air and other physical things you can see with your eyes or almost touch it? So those are physical hazards. So beyond your eyes as well, you could also, I talk about sensory evaluation. So some physical hazard may not be visible to the eyes per se, because when it comes to sensory evaluation, you've heard at a point that, there is this particular species of food that is not safe. So that can also be termed physical in the sense that, at that point, you can suspend that type of food. So that the hearsay, you heard that this food, when, there was a time, I don't know, I think in the early 90s, I was a child then, I heard then that beans was killing years ago. So at that period in my family, we didn't eat beans for a long time. So that's the aspect of sensory evaluation. You use your ear, your eyes, your nose, your skin, everything to evaluate what you are about to cook or you are about to eat.
Thank you for that clarity. Lagos, we are discussing food safety practices through mothers to children. Now, let's move on. Now, dietitian Comfort, right? Through research, I am made to understand that items related to food practices include food hygiene, mother hygiene, and mothers' practices during buying, preparing, and storing the food. Now, I'm wondering, during buying, though you've touched on it a bit, especially by delving into beans, when there was a time beans was said not to be bought and stuff. Now, here I am thinking, wondering, During buying, how does that matter? Are we talking about buying mama foods for children in this context, or purchasing raw food? You touched on it briefly.
Okay, so let's leave mama food aside for now.
Okay.
Because when it comes to safe food, it's actually a collective effort between the consumer and the food handler. So this is not to defend mama put, right? But what I'm trying to say is it's a collective effort, and it's your responsibility and also the responsibility of whoever has prepared the food to keep you safe. So if the food handler has done a part, then you, the consumer, should do your part by ensuring that you're not just eating to get full, but you are eating to get yourself safe.
Okay.
Yeah, so now let me go back to mama put. You know, commercial food in general, at times when we compare homemade food and commercial food, we can almost say that homemade food is preferred. But when we look at the other standardized restaurants and eateries, we can, I think from that research you said, they were referring to those bigger restaurants because they have their regulations in place. The regulations are so tough in such a way that they handle their food carefully. The storage is top notch. You know, they follow the standardized procedures for food safety. So when we're talking of commercial food now, mama put is actually, we can't compare mama put to some other restaurants where they are, yes, where the regulatory bodies are always monitoring them. You understand? So they will never want to expose or pose any risk to their consumers. So when it comes to purchasing food outside, we need to consider, is it mama put or the bigger restaurants? So if I'm to talk about the bigger restaurants that have food safety protocols in practice, then we can say you are safe. But then you, the consumer, also have a role to play by ensuring that you eat your food at the safe temperature. There's something called safe temperature zone in food safety. Meaning if the restaurant have served you your food hot, you should eat it within that temperature zone. That's 75 degrees and above. Yes, so if you leave your food at room temperature, then we can say that you are exposing your food to a conducive environment for these bacteria to rest on. Because all bacteria and pathogens, they need a very conducive environment. And it's up to you not to allow them have it on your food.
And such food should not be fed to a child if you've left it that long exposed.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay. Can I give a time frame?
Please go ahead.
Let's say the shelf life is 2 hours. After preparation, 2 hours, within 2 hours, your children or your child should eat whatever you have prepared for him or for her. Because temperature is very crucial when we're talking about safe food. Temperature is very crucial. I hear some parents say, my child doesn't like hot food. My child does not like the food when it's hot. But at the period where the food is already at room temperature, these bacteria are waiting. You know, we have over 250 food pathogens in the air waiting to land on your food. So once the food is already exceeding that 2 hours, it's highly advised you discard the food, especially if the food was left open. You know, children now, they can leave their food, run around, come back again, you know. So it's actually advised that parents should teach their children safe practices that if you expose your food, this and this would go wrong. So it's good, the mother, you know, the influence of mother is very interesting. You know, there's something called do as I do. So when a child notices that the mother is always advising that you should eat the food at this temperature zone, the child will also practice it. So we'll pass on the knowledge like that. Yes, so it's very, very crucial that we take note of safe temperature when it comes to safe food.
So two questions popped up in my mind while you were talking. You could tell I was laughing, smiling, and all.
Okay.
Now you spoke about a temperature, the room temperature appropriate, and the duration a meal should be left, for a child to consume. And I was thinking to myself, parents who needs to leave for work early in the morning every day, the lunch is packed, put in the lunch box, and then at somewhere around 12 noon, 1 p.m. in school, the child is consuming the food. And I understand at that point in time, perhaps the temperature is still intact somehow, but we cannot get 100% temperature intact. So what would you say in that regard? Because lunch has been packed even before 8 a.m. My little madam at home, you tell her sometimes, eat your food. She refuses. Mommy, I'm not hungry. I'm trying to get her to eat. She's not hungry. I don't want to waste the food. I return the food in the refrigerator. I bring out the food later, perhaps maybe an hour later, trying to get her to eat the food. So during that process, do you think nothing has been tampered with the food? The temperature has changed. I will have to warm it again. So these are two areas I want us to also look at. The duration, the lunch has been packed, and then leaving the food and bringing it up to warm.
Okay. So when we talk about duration in food safety.
Hey, her internet is free. Okay.
Looking at
okay.
Considering the time the food was prepared.
Yes. Your internet is not stable. I'm watching. I can see. Then you need to unmute yourself again. Okay, so Lagos, she's back with us.
All right. So, considering the time when the food was prepared, and then looking at the time the child got to school and the break time, let's give it 5 hours interval between the time of the preparation and the time the child was ready to eat.
Right.
So if at that period the food was already below 60 degrees, now in food safety, the culture is that food is not 100% safe. Now, when we now talk about room temperature, which is from 27 degrees down, that food is now termed warm, right? Is not hot again. And in food safety, there's nothing like warm. It's either hot or cold. Now, I'm only explaining. Your gesture is interesting.
Yeah,
so I'm only explaining the protocol in food safety. Now, I'll still come down to our level as Nigerians. So now, when the food is already at room temperature, the food is not 100% safe. Please take note of my word, 100% safe. But within the time where the food is no longer hot or warm, and then when the food was now timed like left over, like you said, you need to now reheat the food. Do you understand? Yeah, you said something like that. So between that period and the time the child got home, that food is expected to be discarded.
In this economy.
And now let me now speak as a Nigerian. I was speaking as a food safety professional, but now let me speak as a Nigerian. But then as a Nigerian, we don't want to discard the food.
Benio.
We don't want to discard the food. So, but what we are doing is, because, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but permit me to say this. Because most times when we start having symptoms of food poisoning, we always have things to fall back at. We have the antidiuretic drug, that's the Flagyl and the rest. People fall back at it. It's a bad culture. It's drug abuse. So when a mother sees that a child is already stooling, she doesn't even know what to trace it to. You can almost agree with me, Zaynab, that the mother would actually go and get antidiuretic drug, yes, to stop the symptom. But it is very wrong. So it is advised we discard such food. Any leftover after school period should be discarded. That's why you give your children the quantity you know they can finish. And then your packaging in food safety is either your storage, your handling, and your hygiene can either pose risk to that food. So these three things, if not properly paid attention to, you can expose your child to food poisoning, meaning the mother should be highly hygienic. And then you can teach your children to wash your hand. Wash your hand before eating. Tell your teacher in school, I want to wash my hands. My mom said, children can quote their mothers.
Right.
My mom said I must wash my hands for 20 seconds before eating. You can even use it as a song for your children. Wash your hands, wash them nice and clean. Children are interested. Now I'm talking about toddlers, about younger children.
The preschoolers.
While for the teenagers, the preschoolers, you can use play method to teach them. It will stick to their memory. That no, auntie, my mom said I should wash my hand before eating. Now let's talk about their fruits. When it comes to their fruits, how do they handle it? For my child, I unconsciously heard my child telling my nanny that my mom said you should always wash my fruits with vinegar. I was actually amazed. I never taught him, but he saw me doing that. So what parents should do when it comes to teaching their children is let them know the reason. Because the child will ask you why, mommy, why?
Yes, the why.
They're so inquisitive. So I advise that every mother should explain safe food practices to their children, safe food handling to their children, safe food storage. Let me paint a scenario. Hey, Zaynab, when you get to school, make sure you tell your teacher that my mom said I should eat my food immediately I open the flask. I should not leave my food open. Yes, so those practices are actually crucial to protecting the children from foodborne illness or food poisoning. So I don't know if I've given a comprehensive response to that question.
Yes, we are listening, and we are trying to digest it at the same time. So here is the thing. I understand that from manufacture to consumption, food safety food safety necessitates careful management, just you have pointed out, highlighted. Now, I'd love to ask you this question before I start to bring Lagos into this. Would you say a large population of mothers have a satisfactory level of knowledge in this regard? With regards to Nigeria, how would you assess mothers' role in providing safe food for their children in this part of the world? Do you think mothers are now more informed? Do you think you have been interfacing with mothers, parents, organizations, private individuals? But from what you have seen from your own professional ethics, what would you say about parents in this part of the world with regards to food safety? Are we getting better? Are we doing enough?
Yes.
Just yet.
Yes. So recently I can conclude that mothers are now paying close attention to hygiene when handling food. I can almost now in quotes, I can almost conclude that mothers or parents in general are now paying closer attention to food safety. Because most of the time, like when we had cholera outbreak, we could all relate it back to improper food handling.
Right.
So when we talk about improper food handling, whoever is handling the food, which is often the mother at times, now have an idea that if I don't handle this food well, I can get my family sick. So I think recently I've been seeing that mothers, parents, families are now paying close attention to food hygiene and to safe food practices. And especially that aspect of temperature. People that had the mindset of the fact that I don't eat hot food, I don't eat cold food, they are now changing that mentality. Because, when we are having annual cases of fatal, reported cases of cholera, everybody would want to take a step back. Like, what am I doing wrong? What is it I'm not doing right when I'm handling food, when I'm eating? I forgot to talk about leftovers. Mothers now know that, should I say mothers now know, or mothers are getting to know that leftovers should not even be taken when it is over 10 days in the refrigerator, especially the readily cooked food. So,
wow.
Yes, when I say that, because if the food were not stored in units, yes, so when the foods are not stored in units, you bring it out, you take it back, you bring it back. Don't forget that the refrigerator is only keeping these pathogens in a dormant stage. It's not like it's going to 100% kill or prevent bacteria. It's only stagnating them. So when there is fluctuations in temperature, it can make you have food poisoning.
All right. Thank you. We have about 30 seconds to go for another break. But before then, Lagos, let me call out the numbers again. 0201-277. We already have a caller. Oh my goodness. Are we able to take this in 20 seconds? No. But let me try. Good afternoon. Do you have a question? Hello, good afternoon. Hello. Oh. Please kindly call back right after the break. We have to go now. We'll be right back, Lagos. Please stick around.
More conversation, more talk, more right after this. My back, my body, my shoulder, with salon pass. When the back is on the pain, with salon pass. When the body on the trouble, Salon Pass Pain Relief Patch provides effective relief for stubborn pain such as back pain, shoulder pain, knee pain, and leg pain. Salon Pass is distributed by Drugstock and available in pharmacies and stores near you. Try Salon Pass today. Salon Pass, just patch it. If symptoms persist after 3 days, please consult your doctor.
Are you ready to dive into the wide world of news? Join us for the Hat Fact Awards every Friday at 3 to 4 p.m. on Nigeria Info FM. We are breaking down the best, the worst, and the downright Nawa stories that had everyone talking this week.
Oh, wow. Some people don't do
From jaw-dropping headlines to the most outrageous events, we've got it all covered.
Y'all know how we do it, so let's get it on.
Tune in as we celebrate the stories that make you laugh, cry, and shake your head in disbelief. Whether it's the latest viral sensation or the craziest political blunder,
we are going to provide you with insecurity.
We'll give you the rundown on what's hot and what's not. And guess what? You get to vote for your favorite stories in our weekly awards. Who will take home the coveted title of the best stories of the week, and which tale will earn the infamous worst story of the week? Had Facts Awards on Nigeria Info FM, where we turn the news into entertainment.
All right, Lagos, we are back. We have people calling to the show. The numbers to call 0201-277-0993, 0201-465-7190. Let me take this one. Good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Zaynab.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you and your guest some questions. My baby is 1 year old. I told you I sent you.
Please, you are far away from your speaker.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, this is perfect.
Yes,
now.
I said my 1 year old girl. She's 1 year old and 2 months.
Okay.
And she hardly eats. She hardly take anything. She only consumes the food that we got for her. And recently, I just get a Tom Brown food because her weight is very low. When I went to check it some months ago, her weight was at 7,
okay.
Which the man told me she was supposed to be like 10 upward.
Okay, you feel your baby is underweight, right? Thank you. I got that already. I got it. So what can you do?
Yes, what can I do?
Okay.
I've already got her a Tom Brown food, but what can I do more to get her weight back?
Okay.
So she can walk. She's yet to walk as well.
Oh, Okay, all right. Our nutritionist dietitian would attend to that. Thank you so much. So, Comfort, our caller is saying that his baby is underweight, and then he's been so much worried about that. He's gone to the hospital. He's got a brand of particular baby food. So now the baby is not even working yet. What can she do? What can he do? Sorry. Mothers are in my head.
Okay.
Real quick, please.
Okay. So I don't know how old the baby is. My network was having issues, so I didn't hear the questions.
A year. Is
how
a
old
toddler.
is the baby?
Toddler is a year. Is a year old.
Okay.
Year plus.
What's the weight? What's the current weight?
He said it, but because of time, I think we'd have to bring you back upper week. I'm guessing upper week because we already have next week scheduled for cryptic pregnancy, and time has gone. I have messages as well. Let me see if I can take this. Please bring your questions back upper week, December. I mean, maybe January 1st or so. I'll get the appropriate date out. So here is a message. Good afternoon, Zaynab. I love the way your guest is actually handling the topic and the justice you are doing to it. I enjoy the show. God bless you so much, ma'am. From Merchants Man. Oh, Merchants Man, thank you. All right, so Dietitian Comfort, I'm sorry we have to go because of time, but you'll be back in the next 2 weeks, please, so we could attend to some of these questions or many of these questions. Thank you. Lagos, thank you so much. It's time for the news at 1, and Yvonne Haifo is live in the studio. Stay tuned. We'll be back right after for conversation.
For every minute that goes by,
something noteworthy is happening.
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu gave his assurance after President Muhammadu Buhari unveiled the...
For every minute that goes by,
something... 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's